Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and today I want to share with you swatches and an eye look using the new Makeup Revolution palette, and this is Life on the Dance Floor and its guest list. So this is the one with the rose gold glitter gorgeous palette. It is absolutely stunning. I love this so much. So inside, and I shared with you the first look of all three of these palettes a couple of days ago. So inside this palette, you have obviously a big mirror. You also have these gorgeous colours here, and I swatched a couple of them for you the other day, but today I'm going to swatch all of these. You also get a name sheet, which is so, well, I think it's so handy, especially if, you know, I'm going to relay these shades to you if we're sharing eye looks, if you're going to be, not just, you know, if you're filming like I do, you know, you want to relay your favourite colour to your friends, or, you know, share any kind of information with this palette. Those name sheets are very handy to have. So I've got all of the swatches here for you on my arm already, just to save time. I'm just trying to get the light right, that's better, so I can share with you all of the names. So I've swatched them all, and I must admit that when you first look at this palette you think, wow, how am I going to make especially those really bright vibrant shades work? But now I've swatched this palette, it really does make a lot more sense to me now I've got all of the swatches. So I'm going to now share with you all of the swatches, all of the shade names, and then of course I'm going to create an eye look. And I've got my bright red fluffy jumper just for the occasion, so I can hopefully get an eye look to match. Right, so I'm going to now share with you the shades. So I've got them all here. So this one here, now it's a very pale colour. I hope you can see that. That one there is called Cha-Cha. The next one along is called Spin. And that one is a shimmer. It's more like it's not a full-on shimmer, but it's like a velvet, I would say, something like that. There is shimmer to it, but it's not full in-your-face shimmer. So that one is Spin. The third one along is called Slide. This one here is called Locket. We've then got Jive, and we've got Shake It. So those are the first 6 shades. The next row, and there are 24 shades within these palettes. So we've got, let me just count that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we start off the second row with Two Step. We've got then Light Up, Neon, Get Down, Loose, and Crew. So of course these shade names all relate to, I don't know, the dance floor, as the name of the palettes suggest. So then we start off with the third row. So we've got this, which one is it? Yeah, this one. I'm confusing myself. So we've got Hip, we've got Roll, we have got 2 AM, Throwback, we've got Bold, and we've got Lose It. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let me just start again on that one. So we've got Hip, Roll, 2 AM, Throwback, Bold, and then Lose It. I'm trying to jump ahead with the names. So then we move on to the fourth row, so the last row. And the first one is Lean Back, Grind, Stop, Dark Corner, and then we have here, we have Black Light, and the very last one is Sleep. Which is quite appropriate with all of the moves and the dance themed the dance floor themes there. The very last one is Sleep, so that is quite appropriate. I really love the concept behind these palettes. I love the glitter. I love it's just lovely. I love everything about these palettes. Now, one thing is that last time when I filmed the last video sharing with you a couple of swatches and really a look around these palettes, they were only available at superdrug.com. They are still available at superdrug.com, although I think this particular palette is actually out of stock at the moment. But the other two are available. There is still that 3 for 2 offer available as well on Superdrug, but now Tam Beauty has these 3 palettes. So at tambeauty.com, and of course I will put both links for Superdrug and Tam Beauty down below for you. So tambeauty.com does have all 3 of these palettes available. At the start of filming they were available. There is also a 4th palette which is called, I believe, the Sparkler palette. It is very vibrant, bright shades, gorgeous. That one is, the picture of that one is available for you to look at on the Tam Beauty website, but there is no stock at the moment of that palette. But of course, on the Tam Beauty website, you can sign up for email updates, and they'll email you once that stock has become available. So going back to this palette, I'm now going to create a look. Now that I've shared with you all of the swatches, I'll just share with you a close-up of those. So you can see from the swatches that yes, this is a bright palette, but I think a lot of those shades really do work, and I think when you swatch them, it gives you a better idea of how this palette may work for you as well. I know, you know, and I always say this, you know, some people like swatches on the arms, some people don't. I do, because I can really get a feel of the how they're going to perform, although obviously you can't get a real idea until you add it to your eye. And I also really like the fact that you can get a real idea of the shades within these palettes too. So what shall I start with? I mean, I think I'm going to have to go, I think I really want to go for Roll, which is this shade here. I could go with these, but I did a look a few days ago with the Dragon's Heart palette, and that's actually a highlight palette, and it was very similar to that. So I want to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to start off with this colour here, which is Roll, or should I? Let me just have a look. I think I'm going to actually lay down Shake It to start with, that one, because I need a transitional shade. So I'm going to start with Shake It, see how that works, and then I'll add Roll to deepen it up, because I think that might be too deep. So I'm just going to add the shade Shake It to, of course, my Primark brush. And as with now a few of the eye looks that I've done over the past week or so, I'm now adding alternative brushes. They are from Morphe, but they look very, very similar to these. I haven't tried them, so I can't guarantee what they're like, but they are contoured and they are reasonably priced as well. So I'm now just adding Shake It. Wow. That is one dip. I'm going to have to tap a little bit of that off. And of course, I've got my mirror here as always, so I will be looking down, and hopefully at this angle, you'll be able to see how I apply these. So I'm going to add that all the way, so in the crease and above. Now that Shake It is one of the brightest shades within this palette. And you know, on second thoughts, I wanted to put one of these bright shades on because I want you to see, you know, how these work. So I'm just going to do that to the other eye. You don't have to swirl your brush in at all. All you have to do is just touch the brush onto the pan, and that will give you enough product then to, in fact, that's, you know, one tap there and one tap there has given me that, and to be honest, that is lovely. That's exactly what I want. It's definitely wearable. Yes, it is a vibrant palette, and it does look like, you know, if you're a little bit concerned about colour, it does on first glance look very bright, but actually this is really a gorgeous colour. So now I want to deepen it up, and I'm going to definitely add that shade Roll, so that one there. And even, I must say, how these are laid out, it does give you the idea of a dance floor. You've got all of the squares and things like that. These pans, and I did have a question on my last video where I shared these palettes. Someone wanted to know how these compare size-wise to the Soph's palette. These are larger. These are definitely larger. They're definitely larger pan sizes, and yeah, really, really good. The quality is very, very good as well. So now I'm going to dip into that Roll shade, and as always, I'm just putting it onto the tip of the brush, and that makes it so much easier just to add into the crease and the outer part of my eyelid. So I'm just popping that into the crease. That is so lovely. The shades in here are mostly matte. You have got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you've only got 4 shimmers in here. I'll just quickly show you where those are as well. So this one's a shimmer, you can see that reflection. That one's a shimmer, and then these two here, they're shimmers as well. But all of the rest of the shades are matte, and that is something really different as well. There is, I think, is it the silver? The silver one, the silver coloured palette, that one has got more shimmers, and just the top row is matte. So it's really good that these are not, you know, they're not all the same, they're all different. So I'm just adding this into the crease the other side, so we're just deepening up that. Oh, I love that. So that's intensified the look a little bit more. Perfect. Now what I want to do is just deepen that up a little bit, because it is quite red in tone. So I'm going to add the shade Lose It, which is here. So that's Lose It. So this doesn't have a black shade, but that shade Sleep, I think, would work very, very well as a really, really deep shade. If you like your, you know, really deep, like blacks, that Sleep shade is very, very similar to black, but it's got that plum undertone to it. So I'm now going to just add that deep shade just on the into the very corner, to give it a little bit of depth. So I'm just blending, blend all of that in. That has worked really, really well. Love that. And now I'm keeping deep colours right into this outer part here. I think before I was taking them up a little bit too high, and that was just deepening my eye way, way too much. So I'm keeping it in this area here. So again, I'm just going to add, and you only need to literally just touch. These are so intense, so vibrant, and such good quality, which obviously we've all come to expect now from Makeup Revolution. I Heart Makeup. They're blending very, very well. For bright colours, sometimes, I mean, I'm going from one end of the spectrum to the other. I'm going very, very bright, as in with that bright, you know, red orange shade, and then I've gone to that you know, deeper brown shade, or yeah, like a brown shade. And sometimes I find that they just don't blend very well, but not these. They're blended extremely well, absolutely perfect. I love how they've worked together. You're not going to have any issues that, you know, these are not going to blend. They blend really well together. I always put a tiny bit, especially in of the deeper colours. I usually add a couple, add it a couple of times, just because I don't want to overdo it, and that has worked incredibly well. Now, staying still with the mattes, I'm going into that very first shade, Shake It, and I'm just adding that onto the tip of the brush, and I'm just going underneath the eye just to see what that looks like. That's worked really, really well. I think sometimes we can get into stuck in a rut with colours, you know, and think, okay, you know, I've got brown eyes, that green, or, you know, such, I don't know, you know, we sometimes get into ruts about colours, what colours suit certain eyes, and to be honest, I can see this palette suiting everybody. I mean, obviously I've got brown eyes, they've got a tiny little bit of green colouring to mine. Sometimes they look really brown, sometimes they look a little bit more green, but I think this palette is really, really good. I love the fact that I've used some really bright colours, and they've worked perfectly, especially with this red jumper. Now, red is everywhere at the moment. I've just gone to Primark and I cannot wait. I've just gone to Cambridge actually, and I cannot wait to share with you my Primark haul, because I've picked up a couple of red pieces, and this palette in particular would work so well with the products that I've purchased in red. Yeah, absolutely amazing. So red's everywhere, and Makeup Revolution have nailed it yet again and come out, you know, on trend with a palette that is going to match all of our red looks that we're all wearing at the moment. Lovely. Okay, so and also there was something else that I wanted to mention as well. I went into so just going back again to where these are available. So I mentioned they're available at Town Beauty now. Of course, they're available at superdrug on superdrug.com, but I actually visited a couple of Superdrug stores today, and that one was, or those were the Superdrug in Cambridge and the Superdrug in Bury St Edmunds, and both of those had the stand with these on there. So you need to check at your local Superdrug stores, because they are definitely filtering into Superdrug stores at the moment. The Cambridge store, the Cambridge Superdrug that I went to, they hadn't quite had all of them. They'd got this palette, they'd got the gold palette, but they hadn't got the silver, but I'm sure that will be making its way to that store very, very soon. And the Bury St Edmunds store had all three in there. So I would certainly check. I just called the Bury St Edmunds store, and they told me that they did have them, and I had to go in there because I wanted to pick up some more palettes. I've already got three, but I wanted to get another 3 for 2 offer for a family member. So I've picked up another 3 of these palettes. So I just wanted to let you know that if you didn't want to order online, you can now pick them up at selected Superdrug stores, but obviously check. Right, so now I've got to choose, and I do like having a shimmer eye look, and I really, really want to go with this colour here, and it's called Spin, and it is beautiful. It's like a rosy gold. I don't want it to be too deep. I want it to be quite, you know, vibrant. So I'm going to get some of that Spin and just add that with my finger, as I always do. Oh wow, that is beautiful, that colour. And these shimmers are going on. They feel very soft. They're also, again, and I mentioned this in my chocolate bar palette recently, the chocolate elixir, and with the mint chocolate. The shimmers seem quite tightly packed and there's no fallout. So sometimes when you put shimmer onto your finger, you tend to find that you get fallout. But the looks that I've been creating, there's been no fallout whatsoever at all. And I always put my foundation on first because that's how I like to apply my makeup. Now I'm just swapping, as always, to the PS Pro shading eye brush. And like I say, I did go into the Cambridge store, and also there was a conversation on one of my YouTube videos a couple of days ago, and I purposefully had a look at all of the makeup brushes because I think there's a little bit of concern that there was a new range of brushes coming into Primark stores, and that concerned some people that perhaps this was, you know, being filtered out. Now, when I went into the Cambridge Primark store, there was a number of this collection of brushes, this range. There was a number of new brushes within this range, and yeah, they still had a lot of these. They also had lots more new brushes of these. They had, well, I mean, I love Cambridge as a Primark store because, to be honest, they always have everything in there. I mean, Norwich is good, but Cambridge is even better. Now I'm just putting a little bit of that spin onto this brush, and I'm just going to pop that on the inner corner all the way round, because if you've been watching my videos recently, I really like to follow, if it's a light enough colour, obviously, I just like that light colour to flow all the way from the lid all the way round and give that continuous sort of, you know, glow all the way around the eye. So I'm just popping that all the way round on the other side. That is absolutely beautiful. It's rose gold, but it's got a little bit more pink in it. And I hope the camera is picking up how gorgeous that look is. I'm really, really pleased with that. I've already added my mascara. I will take a close-up of this look for you and add it to Instagram, so you've got a close-up. My videos this week, I will still be doing videos on a daily basis, but they're not going to be, you know, usually I try and get them up for 3 o'clock. They're going to be a little bit up and down this week. They may be in the morning, they may be later as today. So apologies for that, but there is still going to be a daily video. So I really wanted to share this with you. So that is, and I'll just share it with you again, the Life on the Dance Floor palette, and that is Guest List. So that is the rose gold. I'll just share it with you, the actual inside, and I will also just go through the shades again. So first of all, I used Shake It. I then used this one, which is Lose It. So Shake It and Lose It, and then, so that was Lose It, and then I went with Spin, which is that one there. Gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. And they really, really work perfectly together. There are all the swatches again. So I hope that's helped. If you are a little bit concerned that this palette is a little bit bright and you're thinking, is that going to be wearable? Well, it definitely is wearable. I love this. I love this palette so much. It's definitely my favourite out of the three. However, it could be that another one will be my favourite after I've done all three of these videos. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that's been and given you a little bit more information about where you can purchase these from and where these are now available. Also, if you're interested, the lip product that I'm wearing is the Makeup Revolution Retro Luxe Gloss Lip Kit in the shade Opulence. And I have worn this every single day since I received this. And yeah, I love it so much. It is glossy, it's gorgeous, but I've got to do a review on this, these lip kits, because I'm so impressed. I want to really share this with you much more in depth, but I just wanted to share with you that that's the shade that I'm wearing. It's gorgeous. I'm wearing it so much. I've already had to purchase a second one because I'm wearing this so much. Also, I wanted to mention I have now sharpened this twice because I'm wearing it so much, and it has sharpened perfectly. So if you have any concerns about that, this has sharpened really well. But that, of course, is the Life on the Dance Floor palette guest list. I hope that's helped you, and obviously I would love you to give me a thumbs up if you found that helpful, and subscribe to my channel if you are brand new to my channel. And of course, all of your comments will be very welcomed. What do you think of this look? What do you think of the palette? Have you chosen that palette? And if not, which ones are you going for? So until next time, well, until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.